ban phase. Alistar stricken away from LPL, a very strong pick for him. Kalista pulled away from Crystal. You know, Crystal, he did take that Sivir that time. He was nowhere near as aggressive as I expected him to be. So I'm also looking forward to see what he decides to go for. There's the Gragas and Echo taken away from Dade and Kandi. And the Rek'Sai once again pulled away from Beast.
All of the targeted jungle bans, and then they've got the Alistar and the Kalista to boot, just both extremely strong necessities of being banned essentially against all LPL teams. The Sivir being the hover would not be a surprise if it is picked up here, as we saw how much of an impact it can have, especially powering up a Hecarim.
Yeah, Crystal was so very patient with it, and he is going to lock that in. That's Crystal on Sivir, and Masters respond instantly. Hecarim locked up for Looper. They don't want to allow that combo to happen once again. And it looks like Nautilus is going to be the return pickup for LPL. And so far, if that Nautilus is locked in, that's going to be identical teams. That would be kind of fun.
Not exactly, no. Master3 are the Nautilus players here from that last game. The Hecarim was with Flandre, so now we're seeing it on the other side of the field. And smartly taking it away from Flandre, though, is a very good decision to do. We saw he was the MVP performer, so smartly getting rid of that from this ban phase. Condi picking up the Nautilus for LPL, who we've now noted is evidently the fallback champion when there is no Alistar available. They pick up the Naut.
They certainly do. Now Yu is looking at that Azir. He's played it to great success in the past, and taking that away from Dade I think is more important, but that leaves Victor open for him, and Ella looks like he is going to opt into that Janna to help Crystal out just a bit more and get some disengaged for when Nautilus and Hecarim dive onto the back line.
I don't mind the Janna pickup. It also denies the Caitlyn-Janna combo, which has been exceptionally strong in that bottom lane also. So getting rid of that potential. And we're most likely going to see swapped mid laners as well, as we're talking about that. The Caitlyn is still probably going to be picked as SMLZ's favorite. It's his fallback AD carry at the moment, given how we've seen a lot of Caitlyn in his last 5 to 6 odd games.
Yeah.
No doubt he'll be looking to that, but of course there's other options. We'll see what he considers.
Yeah, Kalista is again removed from the map right now. Lee Sin currently being hovered for Kandi, as that's going to be the first jungle pickup. How is Beast going to respond? I mean, they already banned away that Echo.
Condi picking up the fallback Lee Sin himself, so getting back to the comfort, early aggression on that jungler in a very comfortable position with that. We'll see what he wants to do, if he can make things happen in the early game, which is something that was sorely missed from that last one. But something we haven't touched on here is the fact that though Looper picked up the Hecarim, Flandre's Fizz is still there.
Yeah, it definitely is. We saw that hover right there, but it seems like Snake are content to swap that over, as Flandre looks to be headed back to the Gnar, and Beast taking the jungle Scion.
A lot of swapsies in terms of roles, but then a lot of different changes. Both junglers here just showing off their diverse champion pools, their capabilities of playing whatever they'd like, as long as it's in the jungle. So we've got the Gnar into the Hecarim now. Essentially the same as last game, but this time it's Flandre on the Gnar. The aggression, we already saw it from Looper, forcing Flandre under the turret for most of the early laning phase where they were one-on-one. Just double that, and that's what you get with Flandre.
Yeah, most certainly the case. Right now, we've got Lucian locked in for SMLZ. Decides not to return to that Caitlyn, and a change of pace out of Master3, as they've got a lot more go buttons now.
They do. They've got a lot more mobility about their team as well. The Victor's going to be the only sore thumb, essentially, of the team, the standout non-mobility style champion, but has his own in his own right once you upgrade the Q to give move speed. So a very aggressive, forward style team.
Yeah.
Like they want to press the go button. There's no real retreating from this M3 lineup.
And it's interesting to see them change things up. I mean, they were able to 2-0 Invictus Gaming with the slow, drag it out, 50, 60-minute style games, but now they're going to something completely different with a lot more mobility, a lot more map pressure, and I'm interested to see if that's going to work out as we're running through the rosters right now.
Yeah, it's different, but in saying that, it's also a throwback. Lee Sin is Condi's most played champion throughout both splits, so getting back onto his comfort pick, and the aggression is going to be a very big factor in this M3 lineup. They're not playing to that 60-minute strength, but if we're talking about Lee Sin in particular, he does come back into strength at around the 60-minute mark when one kick can change the game.
Exactly. One displacement is all you need, especially when you've got a Lucian, Nautilus, Victor to destroy the target. But Master3 going up against Snake. They lost game number 1, hopefully looking to do a little bit better in game number 2, but we're getting into game right now. And we have loaded back onto the Rift. It's Snake and Master3. We're in game number 2 of week number 6 of set number 2 of day number 2.
Whoa.
I know, numbers, right?
Yeah. We're in game number 2. That's what I got from that.
There's that going on. But it's Snake versus Master3. Once again, Snake going for a bit of a group here. They could try to find Looper. No mobility summoners this early on. Yu sneaks himself into the bush.
A little bit too tanky to take down this early in the game. Only between Flandre and Yu, who do not have a whole lot of base damage this early in the game either. So no chance of a kill, but just spotting where the wards have gone down. Trading ward placement, essentially. And nothing really to come from it besides a somewhat deep, but somewhat neutral warding.
Did he miss the... He missed the bush.
Did he?
He did. He doesn't have vision. Oh, he has vision of the right side. I see.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a deep placement.
Okay. So he's not going to spot them until they actually walk into lane.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely...
Oh, yeah, he can see the Krugs, yeah. Can he see the Krugs?
Yeah.
He doesn't see them? Oh, now he sees them. That's less exciting.
That's going to be fine. They've spotted them out now. The option is there for M3. Do they want the lane swap? Probably not. They're going to do the Gromp and get an advantage themselves, whilst Beast gets some assistance. No, Condi's here. I'll take everything back. They're just helping the junglers. Reset.
Yeah. And it looks like we are going to have Flandre head up to the top. He's not starting off a camp, as he did go for the Flash teleport instead of a Smite teleport. Whereas Looper, he's going to start off with the Krugs and then head on up to his own top lane. There's Dade doing the exact same thing Yu was doing in the previous game, even using the same skin too, so bit of a...
If there's one thing we can take from that is that there's going to be aggression in the mid lane again, but we'll see how competent they are on each other's respective champion.
To me, it's kind of a anything you can do, I can do better.
In a way, it is. It's kind of like a show-off competition here, but both being level 2 is where the aggression will start to really come out from both of them again.
Yeah, Dade trading now with Yu, manages to hit the laser and takes a Sand Soldier to the back.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage, but no, let's not think too much on the actual
not really
kill pressure from this lane. They have a lot of early pressure, but no actual raw damage. We'll be looking at the Sion and the Lee Sin to see how they can impact the map, especially this early in the game. Sion very adept at jungling and not taking damage, whereas a Lee Sin looking to make some kind of kills, gets some kind of advantage, or he drops off a fair bit fairly heavily.
Beast going to be very effective at taking the Scuttle Crab as he bullies it around the lane. Being able to knock it up.
Yeah, I know. After all of that jungling, he is legitimately good.
And the coolest thing is, even when he dies, he can still finish the camp if he happens to get executed. LoveCD lands the hook, but Crystal instantly turns onto SNLZ, and with the auto attack reset, trades right back over. And SNLZ and LoveCD actually end up getting a little worse for wear.
If they actually come out ahead in that trade here, Crystal and Ella, the Janna Shield playing a big part in that, and saving the Boomerang Blade until afterwards. But
oh boy, using a tricky spot right here, and he knows it. Takes the Sonic Wave. Is Condi going to follow it? Forces the flash out. Condi continues chasing. He'll even burn both summoners.
Condi not being over-aggressive, not knowing where the Sion was, of course, playing a part in the smart backing off. But in saying that, heal and flash used for basically just a ward jump from the Lee Sin. So very smart and very nice ganking there. Unlucky that the dash didn't dodge the Sonic Wave, though.
Yeah. Very unfortunate for you, but that means he is going to have to play defensive in that mid lane, and it's not exactly like we expected a lot of ganks from Sion early on, but now that just means use on even more of an item.
Yeah, he's going to be in a very difficult position here if Lee Sin is to make his way back. We can see the jungle pressure being placed by Condi in his opposition jungle, and the gravitation towards the bottom of the map is he's most likely going to see a gank here very soon.
Yeah, Condi tried to come in through the tri-burst, but instead looped back around. Crystal forced a flash there, even burning the heal to make it out in time. That's another 2 summoners Condi so effective this game.
Yeah, just being there forces all of these summoner spells out of them. Both heals, both flashes from the mid and the AD carry, as we're looking at maybe or never mind. The problem now, though, is that Condi needs to make this work, or the respective laners need to find kills from what has been gifted to them on a silver platter by Condi on this Lee Sin. If they don't find kills with no summoners available from the mid laner and the AD carry, then it's not worth it. All of this great ganking from Condi is not going to work out for anything if it doesn't result in a kill.
Yeah, Dade is trying. You saw him bullying with you in the mid lane. Now Flandre, doesn't get the third proc on that Hyper, as he's got a pretty solid CS lead over Looper. He's going to shove this wave under the turret, and Looper doesn't have teleport either, so he should be missing out on a few CS right here, while Beast continues to counter jungle after having seen Condi on the bottom side of the map. So again, things are very
These two in the mid lane, both out of mana, both out of health, just hitting each other wherever they can. It's almost like a game of chicken where whoever recalls first is the loser. So you actually losing that one in that respect. Dade getting level 6 now, and a CS advantage forming for the victor.
Yeah, you can certainly see that as he is shoving it under the turret. Doesn't look like Yu's going to be able to make it there in time. He should only miss, I believe, 1 minion, but here's Beast to catch some of those CS. All in all, things fairly slow, and even despite those summoner spells missing, LoveCD not quite making use of the lack of summoner spells on that Sivir because of the spell shield. And things just taking their time. Once again, looks like Master3 are content to just sit and farm it out.
Yeah, calming down a little bit now the game. The summoner spells have been burnt by Lee Sin, but losing the double buffs, losing a lot of gank pressure, is just going to resort to taking some farm and looking towards finishing that Warrior's enchantment, where his kill pressure starts to ramp up again, especially around that level 6 mark. Just kidding, he has doubles still.
Yeah.
Does he?
Lucian?
No, never mind. Never mind.
It was hovered on Lucian summoner spells.
No, I was looking at the double buffs, and I was looking above his name for the actual double buff icons, and I see them, but they've moved.
Yes. We are currently looking at the bottom lane now, in which Crystal is catching all of this CS. SMLZ going very aggressive with LoveCD to try trading it back out. The hook goes wide. I'm not sure LoveCD would have wanted to follow that.
Wouldn't have been too bad, given that it actually pulls you towards the Nautilus.
Yeah, just a bit.
But in saying that, the aggression is the key factor to take from that. LoveCD and SMLZ looking for a kill because there's no summoners on Crystal.
Yeah, they certainly are. Condi once again on the bottom side of the map. He's clearing out blue buff right now. Dade clears the wave strike, catching up as they fight over some vision in the tri-bush. He's got a pink on that bottom side river to make sure that nobody is going to spot it out, while Snake's pink remains safe as well. And again, things very slow and patient this game. Master3 are creeping forward with their vision, though. They've got a pink in the bush right there. Condi, takes some damage from Beast right here. He dashes forward. He's doing a lot of burst right now. Condi is going low, and he's taking the true damage burn as well. He's going to have to run away from this.
Negating the level 6 pressure from the Lee Sin is a big factor right now. He does not have his kick available to engage, do any insect plays, kick them towards the rest of his team. Instead, he has to retreat back to base and lick his wounds.
Hook finds Ella. He's chunked a lot. Ignite goes down as well. Level 6 by SMLZ. He gets the culling and dashes aggressively forward, bullying Snake's duo out.
Definitely bullying, but meanwhile, they want to go for this dragon. They've got the numbers advantage. They know Lee Sin is in base.
Yeah, they're trying to burn through it as quick as possible. You doing an excellent job of shoving down that Dragon's health bar over the wall with the Sand Soldiers. Yeah, they're going to take it down.
The Janna on one side giving a shield, on the other side is Azir with his Sand Soldiers. So he's just chilling by himself in the pit. They take that one down.
Lumberjack Scion, chopping down trees, chopping down dragons.
Can't really chop down dragons. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, he just did.
Yeah, but being a lumberjack doesn't mean you can chop down dragons.
It does if you're an undead lumberjack.
No. No? Moving on. More important topics besides lumberjacks and being undead.
Oh, you forced a flash out of the gravity field. Dade. Going aggressive.
Flash just available again. Flash being used again right there. You having a very hard time in this mid lane. The blue buff advantage going to Dade. Quite a big factor in this trade, but is about to get one of his own.
Yeah. secures this. Beast feeds it right on over to him. Whereas Flandre was actually forced to burn his flash just a few minutes ago in the top lane as Kandi went for a gank that was off screen. Looper gets aggressive with a lot of damage here. Flandre, whoa, super low right here. Even burning the Onslaught of Shadows aggressively and continues trading it back. If he can rush up that Mega Gnar, dive in the mid lane, whoa, he gets knocked out of it, but Kandi still gets first blood.
The ultimate from Azir actually stopping the Sonic Wave, having the resonating strike effect.
Yeah.
Nearly saving his life, but not having that flash from a prior trade. Comes back to bite him again, and this is what we're talking about, utilizing the fact that summoner spells are not available, making vision control around certain areas. There's no dragon for them to take, but Siv's in a very aggressive position.
They certainly are. Crystal's going to have to be careful here. He does have his summoner spells back up, and Spell Shield blocks that damage from SMLZ. They are going to clear out this pink ward, though. Kandi continuing to be aggressive and showing himself all around the map.
The question will be, what can Beast do? We've seen he's got the capabilities to 1v1 Kandi at the very least, if he catches him out of position, but he needs to impact across the lanes, not just in the jungle. We've seen Kondi's already had a big enough impact to be a relevant early game Lee Sin. Sion now ramping up, has that level 7. His smash is going to start hurting by a phenomenal amount now. He needs to make it work. He needs to make something happen, or it's just going to be a repeat of the last game when we hit that 40-minute mark and he finally does something.
Yeah, and even in the last game, he was having some difficulty being super aggressive. So he has been taking it slow. He bullied Kandi out of the jungle once, but again, hasn't made any ganks happen. He is on the bottom side of the map, comes charging forward, finds LPL. Lots of damage coming across, but here comes Kandi. Teleport from both of the top laners as this explodes into a full team fight. Ella goes low, and Ella goes down. Flandre tanking the culling in the front line as Master3 pick up a kill and walk away.
Kandi and Looper comboing the ultimates, actually keeping them against the wall and taking down Ella very convincingly right there as LoveCD hit a fantastic dredge line to start it all off. Flandre teleporting in but not being Mega Gnar, the biggest factor as to why they couldn't turn that fight around. They smartly backed away, but it wasn't enough to save their lives as M3 still showing signs of aggression, but they can see you, Kandi.
Yeah, they certainly can.
Or can they?
I think that might be a visual bug, in fact. Now Crystal takes some more damage here. The hook finds Crystal, but he's not able to make it in time. Kandi, not feeling the dive, decides that he is better than his Lee syndrome.
Yeah, okay, it is a visual bug. I was slightly confused. I thought they could see him. They cannot. They find a nice gank again, but no kill to come from it this time as the Janna and the Siva are very good at disengaging.
They certainly are. Crystal down about 20 CS, going on to 30 now as SMLZ continues putting pressure on down there. While Flandre continues catching farm in the top. And all in all, Master3, they played that really, really well. I mean, we were talking about how Beast needs to be effective and start making ganks happen. He tried to make a gank happen, but instead, Master3, they countered it.
Yeah, they were in the right place at the right time. The Lee Sin was there to stop it from happening. The teleport came through from Lupo at the ideal time. Beast trying to make something happen just as we mentioned it, essentially queuing his ultimate into the bottom lane, and they caught LoveCD out. But because Kandi was there, and the fact that Kandi has just been having this bigger early game presence, they force them out. They find a kill out of it all, and M3 give themselves a smaller lead again.
They certainly do. Ooh, Emperor's Divide by you is not going to divide anything. Kandi just walks away with the stylish Warthog.
Yeah, the Warthog saving him in the end there. The rest of the team of Snake were making their way around. And while we're talking about finding advantages and making leads, this bot lane is exclusively a 2v2 advantage now to M3.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see SMLZ trying to be super aggressive. Crystal spell shields for some mana back. But SMLZ still has the opportunity to be a bit pressure, put a bit of pressure on as Kandi shows himself on the bottom side. He's heading down from that tier 1. Beast clearing out the Krugs. He does have his ultimate available as well. Can they get the kill? But no, here comes Sion. They turn now onto Crystal. The Monsoon knocks LoveCD under the turret. He goes down. SMLZ takes a smite to the face and has to walk away.
The most unusual but amazing quirky combo right there. The Monsoon and the Sion ultimate knocking LoveCD under the turret. He goes down quite easily and completely diffuses what was going to be another counter gank by this Lee Sin on Kandi.
Yeah, Kandi has been all over the map this this game. You can see he's been involved in both of his team's kills and has been one of the catalysts as to why that has happened. Dade looking like he might roam up to the top side of the map right now, but Looper has got a few wards of his own, so he's going to head back on over to mid lane after taking some poke from you.
Yeah, they're just trading again in the mid lane, trying to find a roam, but all of the ping from you coming out is these two just go back and forth endlessly.
They certainly are. Just continuing to farm it out. 15 minutes into the game. Dragon has respawned now. First one did go over to Snake as they took that rather effectively with a quick two-man combo between Sion, Yu, and even a bit of shield, as Ella tries trading away with that terror from the depths, and he's actually going to scare it away.
Yeah, they have the numbers advantage there to push them out of that area, so to speak, but Dade is going to be doing a ridiculous amount of damage at the moment, so any prolonged trades in an area where Dade can put down some free damage, most likely going to hurt Snake in the end. In saying that, they do still have a numbers advantage, and Flandre and Looper, he's going to hit Mega soon.
Very aggressive. Yeah, Looper's trying to be careful here, but Kandi's on that top side of the map. That's why Kandi was there.
It was a very big, but in a way obvious bait as well, because why would Looper ever just suicide freely? You know, like, it's not a situation you wanted to be in. Speaking of situations you don't want to be in, Beast finds himself missing everything.
Yes, he does. Not able to find the stun onto Kandi, and actually seeing Kandi on the top side of the map. Snake decide to try rushing down the Dragon. They're going to burn through its health awful quick. They're going to secure for themselves the second Dragon.
They certainly are. No way to contest at the moment. Lucian and Nautilus too busy sitting in a bush and waiting for Snake to come to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it most likely will work, but in saying that, they did lose a Dragon for it.
Certainly did. Let's see if they're going to be able to make anything happen from this. Now, they're just going to catch the minion waves instead. He has a 30 CS advantage right now. SMLZ is doing a great job in the bottom lane. Yeah,
they're coming out ahead in this bottom lane. There's a lot of pressure being placed down by Condi to enable that to happen in the first place, but they're also translating a raw 2v2 lead in their favor. Blade of the Ruined King. First item for Lucian, though. That is an interesting buy. It's not the raw damage output that we're seeing that can come down from Crystal on that Sivir. Going for the BF sword, having the Infinity Edge as the next item with that Avarice Blade. You compare that to the raw health shredding damage. It's an interesting decision in terms of laning phase, but you look at the raw team fighting capabilities of M3, and then you have a look at the lineup of Snake. They all want health. In particular, Beast sacks health as a passive. So a very smart decision in respect to team fighting, but the lane pressure just doesn't feel as strong as it would normally be. The kill pressure not as evident.
Yeah, you can saw they were trying to look for kills, but just not finding it. LPL and Kandi go for some deep wards that are going to be spotted out by you. But the pink ward in the tri-bush down on the bottom side should also keep the duo lane for Snake safe if they decide to head on down. And now that the sweeper's been used, it's going to be especially tricky.
So the pink ward in the tri-bush is the only saving grace right now in terms of vision control around the map, but M3 have been spotted.
Yep, they certainly have. Crystal looks like he still might get caught here as Gandhi gets knocked under the turret. Monsoon, they turn now onto Ella. He flashes out. It's chased. Gandhi gets the kill, and he gets away.
He manages to just get out there. A very smart play from M3, an aggressive dive. The Monsoon actually throwing him under the turret, but pulls out ahead, hits the Sonic Wave, throws out the Dragon Kick, and gets a free kill.
Yep, just following that thing up.
Quite simple, really. It seemed like it was going to be a little bit more complicated than that. Well, it was quite complex, but it worked out very, very simple.
Certainly did. Dade continuing to hold in the mid lane as Looper actually shows himself down there, but isn't going to be able to make anything happen. And once again, everyone returns to those standard laning phases. Ella on the respawn heads himself back down to the bottom, as he now has completed the Sight Stone on top of those Moby boots, so he can get some more wards. And Masters3, they've got deep wards right now, but I don't know that they're going to be able to make anything happen on it.
I think Crystal trying to get a little bit more over-aggressive at the moment in terms of trading, knowing that the difference in items is just a raw damage output difference. You've got Eye of the Storm and your auto attacks always going to be doing more than that of Illusion, who even has 40 CS above on you. So yeah, confidence here from Crystal. And the vision control is a big talking point, as you mentioned. The fact that all of this aggressive red ward vision being placed by Master3, even allowing Dade to be as... Whoa, hello.
Beast curves the bullet onto Dade. There's the knockup. Emperor's Divide flings him under the turret. He's not even going to try flashing here. He finally goes down. Beast is the guy who gets the kill.
Sion's ultimate is so difficult to dodge without using summoner spells. He thought he could juke to the side, but the slow momentum of the initial start of a Sion ultimate managed to turn around that turning circle and actually catch him out.
Yeah, with Dade dead, this leaves you to get some damage onto this tier 1
Beast
as he's
hurting.
not quite doing it. Yeah, Beast very tanky right now as he went for the Cinder Hulk and that Glacial Shroud. Culling used to clear the wave on the bottom side of the map. So much attack speed means so many more bullets. But he doesn't quite find any damage. Crystal, wow, he's being really aggressive.
Yeah, again, pushing his luck, knowing the difference in items is actually evident when it comes to raw damage output in a single skirmish scenario compared to that of a team fight where SMLZ goes
Flash hook as they try to find Beast. Condi and LoveCD were waiting, but they just trade Flash for Flash.
Flash for Flash, nothing big to come from that, but the kill in the mid lane has seen you put down some pressure onto this turret. He should be able to get this one.
Ooh, finally gets it. Even dropping the turret right now as Dade looks to be careful here. A lot of damage coming across. You might just die here, and he goes down.
They managed to pick up a free kill, essentially, an over-aggressive decision to try and make a trade by putting his sun turret down. Backfires. He goes down. And Condi's having an impact where he needs to be, when he needs to be there. The rest of the team's starting to feed off of that, and they're looking to scale a little bit further past this stage. Around the 25-minute mark, or maybe even the 30, depending on items, is when things will start to ramp up.
Ooh, Beast trying to trade with Dade right here. He takes some damage back as Dade's so very fast. Here's Flandre joining in. Misses one boomerang, but Condi has joined the fight. They're kicking on the Beast right now. He goes low and he goes down despite the Monsoon from Ella. This is 4 members of Master3. They turn on the Snake now, but Dade's still alive. Beast is so very scary. Even in Undeath, he still turns it around. Flandre tries to force a fight. He finds Condi. Condi goes down. Crystal comes in to try turning on the Looper. He just doesn't have the damage though, and Flandre looks like he falls to SMLZ.
SMLZ running one of the most aggressive mid-game centric builds that I have seen with that Ghost Blade being used right now as well. And they find the pick again. M3 making a trade in the right direction at the right time, but Snake managed to get the pick, Flandre using his ultimate, and they still make a trade. Condi very squishy and Flandre exploiting that fact. In saying that, M3 still find themselves with a big lead, Dragon up in 10 seconds, and Snake being the ones who have controlled the first two. Maybe M3 can turn around this one.
They do have some solid control over that side of the jungle, and Crystal, despite trying to get some damage onto that bottom tier 1, is not going to be successful as SMLZ zones him off of it.
Yeah, he can't
wow,
fight.
Look at that crit for 400 damage.
SMLZ cannot fight Crystal right now based off itemization exclusively. Take aside the champions and the fact that Lucian just excels at being able to 1v1 anybody. It's just not possible right now. You have to respect the raw 1v1 damage of Crystal that can be put onto you. And it's a very smart decision from the side of Snake to have Janna roaming, which isn't a common thing, and allow the 1v1 to actually take place.
Dragon is now being started by Master3. Looper, or Flandre is on the top side of the map with his teleport, but Looper, already having burned his, has to walk on down. It's picked up. LoveCD is actually the one who gets it. Looks like Beast wants to force a fight right here. He's okay with dying. There goes Looper. He turns onto Crystal, tries to bring him low and succeeds as Condi gets the Dragon Rage, but he's almost certainly going to die off the back of it. Flandre with a huge stun locks everyone up right now as SMLZ is trying to do some serious damage. Master3 get the Dragon, but they might just lose their lives, and yeah, you gets the kill on LoveCD.
They may want to continue this and look potentially at a dive. They've got the Nara and the Sion making their way around. A very risky decision if they do, though. Yeah,
they need to move as a unit. Ooh. Sonic Wave finds Flandre and Beast, dropping the slam just in case Lee Sin follows it.
The slam ready to go just in case. They find no extra kills, but Yu is hitting his stride. He is at a big point. Dade is matching it, but in terms of the range damage output, will they find a kill here, though?
Ooh, Yu's got to be careful. Sonic Wave finds Ella. He goes in and gets knocked right back out.
They will not find the kill there is the answer. A lot of aggression and a very questionable engage from Beast that started all off after the Dragon went to M3. And he comes out with his life. I mean, they make a positive trade for it in the end. 1-for-1, I believe, after all of that. So nothing really massive to come from it. And that was off a very average engage from Beast. So imagine if that hits a priority target.
Flandre did pretty solid with that Mega Gnar, though, and take a look at how he's building. Not only is he almost 50 CS up right now, he's also building damage.
Yeah, Black Cleaver, Frozen Mallet, the build. The myth, the legend. That is going to be a very interesting decision. More so for the laning phase to make sure he keeps control of Looper to shut him down as much as possible. But Flandre needing to have that teamfight relevance. And look at that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at the damage. Looper's getting chunked out right now. Yeah.
Ult or die.
He's
trying, no, he's got
but
Condi here.
yeah, he decides to let him go.
So Flandre, not really concerned with having his ultimate available, of course. He's going to be at his strength when he's actually in mini-nar, based off trying to split push, having the range and the move speed, the little mobility that you are provided when you hit that third stack on your passive of W. Actually quite content with being the mini-nar, so when you are in mega-nar form, you can essentially just use that nar ultimate to put down damage.
Yeah. So far, it's been pretty effective as Looper has been bullied out of lane so many times, but Looper significantly more effective in this game as he's 1-0-3 right now, despite Flandre getting that advantage in the top lane. So great play out of Looper with this style, going for the challenging Cinder Hulk plus full tank afterwards. Things definitely feeling pretty good for him as Beast catches up with you in the mid lane, says, hey friend, how are you?
Yeah, things going well for him, and I mean, it's piggybacking on the fact that Condi on this Lee Sin has been making a big impact everywhere. Every single member of M3 finding a small lead, a residual effect, is on the back of him being in 6 out of 7 of the kills right now on Condi. He's just been everywhere, right place, right time. And speaking of the right place,
this is not it. As Snake try to rush down the Baron, they've got 3 members there. Nice tanky front line plus a lot of DPS, but M3 try to turn it around. They destroy Dade. Looper gets onto Crystal once again. Crystal goes low and he goes down. Condi's not able to find it. It's actually LoveCD who gets the kill. Yu is just doing so much damage right now, and somehow Snake are turning this fight around. Looper goes down once again. A huge fight.
A big fight. They managed to take down Looper, Condi, and Dade. Dade going down essentially immediately, not having a big impact in that fight. They were going for the Baron. They're looking to go for the Baron again, but this time they've got Flandre to bolster their forces and potential to take it down.
Yeah, Yu doing so much damage right now. SMLZ's over the wall. He's spotted out by a pink ward. Could look for a steal, but he's going up against the Smite for Beast. Doesn't even want to chance it. He lets them take the Baron.
I mean, realistically, the big factor between these two teams right now is that one of their AD carries does damage. The other one is a Lucian with a Blade of the Ruin King first item. But we're going to have a look at this fight, and you can see Dade, non-existent, going down essentially to just Beast and Flandre, as Crystal did his best attempt at living as long as possible. But Yu and the damage that he's putting out, Flandre not even needing to use that ultimate, hitting Meganar by the end of the fight. A very convincing and easy victory for Snake. And it's on the back of kill their one big reliable damage source of Dade, because again, the Lucian build, very questionable.
Not quite working out as well as you would hope, as he is now finally building a BF item. He's got that BF sword ready for him. Now Dragon is going to be up in about a minute, but Snake have got that Baron buff. They've got a very scary damage spike right now, and while it's still very even in golden items, you have got solid momentum for the next few minutes because of that Baron buff. They find themselves in the mid lane. They've got ward control over the Dragon Pit. Seems like they've got their eyes set on something specific.
Disco near the blue buff, having 2 sleepers used at once. They should be able to clear the net. No, they don't. The numbers advantage is in the mid lane for Snake right now. Lucian was in the bottom lane, but they haven't found any way of actually getting to the turret and taking it down. Victor with his wave clear is just disgusting. And Condi's looking for a fight.
Yeah, he just might. He tries, he succeeds. Yu gets knocked right back in, but he makes it over the wall through the divide, though Condi is waiting for him. He goes down. It's traded 1-for-1 now. This is Looper finding the back line. Crystal's trying to kite it out. He kills Dade right now, and Snake are continuing to snowball this. Looper goes low. Looper's going to go down. Flandre doesn't even care about the tier 2. That's an ace for Snake. They just blew this game wide open.
I mean, honestly, they committed too hard to Yu, because he placed down his Sun turret and it did more damage than you probably would have anyway. It was just a perfect fight for them, overcommitting and trying to run through a Sun turret. Crystal staying alive. They still have the 2 damage sources. That's the big deal. Flandre is doing a lot of work. Beast never going to look like dying anytime soon. This Snake lineup becoming very strong and acing them. They've ramped up massive.
They certainly have, and Master3 are so focused on killing you that, yes, they succeed, but sometimes Crystal in the back line, when he's able to keep Looper off of him and survive long enough, he's doing so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, keeping in mind, he's even got the Janna to bolster his damage output.
Yeah.
So Crystal is a very scary Sivir. And then Yu is, of course, the big threat, has to die first. But the fact that he even got the Sun turret down in that fight, it was doing damage. It was taking people down. They still come out relatively easily ahead.
Oh, most definitely. Now with that third dragon secured and the middle inhibitor now missing, Master3 are going to be consigned to defend their base from the oncoming onslaught of minions. Big wave on the bottom side of the map, however, along with pressure on the top, means that we could see some more pressure, but it seems like not even Snake are ready to siege that tier 2 as they're all on the split around the middle lane.
Now on the back foot now with this Master3 lineup, as Flandre can quite easily 1v1 anybody that he would like. In a very comfortable position, has the Randuin's finished with that Black Cleaver and Frozen Mallet. So a disgustingly damage-based Gnar that is just as tanky as required. Beast looking for a flank though.
Yeah, they certainly are. They could be setting up a dive right here. Instead, they're continuing to chunk away the turret. Now, that is a visual bug. They do not have Baron buff anymore. Crystal leading the charge on that Sivir along with Flandre. They get now onto the inhibitor turret with super minions pushing down in the mid. They're just going to try chunking it through and succeed so well.
Yeah, they're going to be able to sit around and completely chunk it out. Someone has to attend to the middle lane. Lucian going back to base now as well for some farms. So once the minions come to the turret and hit it, wow,
Dade gets destroyed. Oh my gosh, Flandre's the one who gets the kill. Beast charging into the front along with Flandre. They're shredding through the health bars of Master3. Kandi goes down. This is an absolute slaughter. Looper makes it back to the fountain, but Snake, they just ended the game. Team fight, win. Team fight, Baron. Team fight, Nexus.
They just press the go button. Gnar jumping over the wall right there and picking up an easy kill onto Dade. He got wrecked in this game. Everything was put onto killing Dade. They come out with a very easy victory on the back of 2 extremely strong team fights. And they had multiple threats, so much damage between every individual champion in their team that there was no answer from this Masters3 lineup.
Yeah, there just wasn't. Masters3 tried to take it out to that long late game once again. Slow passive play, and Kandi, even in the early game, he played so much better than in game number 1, but he just wasn't able to get his team kills.
Try as he might to get the rest of his team ahead, and he did try, and he almost succeeded, but coming through the rest of the team of Snake, just no answer from this M3 lineup. The